Hi, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Thrive in 3, a brief conversation about thriving in life and in business. And today I have the pleasure of welcoming Zanele Njapha. And thank you for joining us, Zanele.
Thank you so much for having me, Lois. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Sure, no problem. So Zanele Njapha is a girl who lives in Durban, and she goes as an unlearning expert, an innovation facilitator, and a transformation facilitator, ideally. So I work with organizations and individuals to help them smoothly make a change from one way of doing things to another. A lot of the time when we try to innovate, we find that we're slowing down when it comes to making the transition and completely pulling out of an old habit to fully engage in a new way of doing things.
So you need to unlearn the old ways in order to go forward.
Precisely, yes.
Fabulous. So Zanele, what is your thriving tip of the day?
My thriving tip would definitely be experimentation. Experiment, try something new that you haven't tried before, and specifically, even try to mix up a routine that you have, because we find that we get so locked into these routines that we live by and these habits that when we make one slight change to them, it could actually make a very big difference.
So can you give us an example of a change you could make?
Sure, no problem. And this is a really great one for this time that we're currently in. Try rearrange your bedroom or any living space that you've got in the house and see what difference that makes to the way that you think, the way you engage with that space, and even your level of creativity when you're in that particular space. You'll be quite amazed at what it does.
Okay, and what could we unlearn so that we can relearn something new?
Sure. So, what we could definitely unlearn is this mindset that things are fixed. And that's where I always start with my clients and people that I work with. The very first thing we need to work to unlearn is this mindset that things are always going to be the same, because we know that the only constant is change. So that's the first thing we need to unlearn and then work from there. Once we understand that things are consistently changing, we internalize that, then we can move forward even better.
So can you give us an example of something to unlearn right now?
Something that we can definitely unlearn right now that most of us are doing is working in bed or working in our bedrooms, which is actually not a very good habit. And especially during this time where we're working at home or working from home, however you choose to call it, when you work in your bedroom, what you're telling your brain and your space is that this space is a sleeping space and it's a working space and it's an eating space. So when you're in there, your mind and your whole aura is not sure how to act in that particular space. So unlearning that, keeping everything in its boxes really helps to clarify to your whole self what it is that you're working on.
Sometimes, unfortunately, though, we have to work in our bedrooms because there is no other space.
Very true. At least not in bed, right?
But we can unlearn that this is us, divided. This is the sleeping part and this is the working part.
Of the bed. I love that.
That's fabulous. So guys, go out there, experiment, find something, do something new, do something differently. So I'm Lois from Coaching Conversations for Change. Please join us again for another tip on thriving in 3. Zanele, thank you so much for joining us and for your very innovative tip. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lois.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.